Hey guys, welcome to Francis Brothers Films. I'm Jamie Francis. We're throwing it back and going into the archives, Francis Brother archives from around 2000. We are still in high school in this movie. Oh man. So we're throwing it back to about spring of 2000. We're about 17, 18 years old at this point, seniors in high school. And from about 1995 to about this time, 2000, we were hardcore into comics. We always loved telling stories. And this, at the time, it's kind of hard to believe now, but like cameras like this and stuff weren't really accessible. And if they were really bad quality. It was a struggle for a long time just to make something that looks like it's watchable. Now, like people's phones, like the phone I have, the quality of this phone, even this is like a Samsung Neo or something, is far superior than anything you could buy before. So we shot this movie on VHS C, if I can remember correctly. And it was actually ex-girlfriend dad's camera that we kind of basically borrowed and shot this movie during spring break of 2000, our senior year in high school. It was the first time we kind of like even could computer edit. We were in this class in grade 12 that had the first basically time we could ever... It's kind of like hard to believe now, but like just to get footage from like a video camera onto a computer to edit was huge. It was like you just couldn't do it. And in this class we had little capture devices, and it was the first time that we could do that, and it just kind of like totally opened up this whole new thing to like actually make movies and like let's actually do it. And when we were younger, like from when we were doing comics and stuff, not taking anything away from making comics, like we loved comics at the time, still do, but we always wanted to make movies, and comics were just sort of like because we couldn't get access to the stuff we needed, and the quality and stuff were so poor that we kind of put more emphasis on the comics. But once we could find a way to like do it properly, we were like all gung-ho about making movies. So this is it. This is called It Will Get You. It's super inspired by one thing, comic books. You'll notice like a lot of shots like this where I'm looking right at the camera, which is really weird because they don't do that in like narrative movies. And a lot of like just weird like zombie things going on. There's like this one weird part where it's like a dream sequence where we had some sort of like, I remember we put like a cup. It was like a slushy cup, plastic cup over like a sock, and it was like some sort of worm thing, and it looks terrible. But anyway, one thing that was really quite odd when I was watching it again is that it's basically a silent movie. There's a couple like redubbed lines, but really poorly done, like super bad. And so like I think I'm gonna have to watch this with you and sort of narrate it at the same time, because I just don't think it'll have any kind of like, you'll have no idea what's going on. Here it is. It'll Get You. It stars me. We have like a life preserver type jacket thing I'm wearing, inspired by like Marty McFly from Back to the Future for some reason. Anyway, it's just like crazy bad. And I'm kind of fighting this demon thing played by Dan in the forest. It's totally weird and crazy and makes no sense, and it looks like garbage. Like this file, unfortunately, the best quality I have is like a real media file, which is like kind of the first sort of like streamable content, media content that you could do on the internet. And I remember we sent this real media file to ourselves, and this is again way back in the day where it wasn't that easy to do. So we had to compress it like crazy just to get it through email, I remember, and or you might have uploaded it to a website. I don't know how we did it, but anyway, that's kind of it already is crappy quality, but it went to super crappy level with the real media. It's just barely watchable in its quality. So Just bearing that in mind. But it's fun to have this on here. But like, do not take it for just take it for what it is. We're about 17, making kind of like our first thing on a really crappy camera. That's all I can say, really, because just it speaks for itself, I think. Please don't watch this all the way through if you think it's going to be some sort of amazing thing or anything. Just like anything we ever make, it's it's grain of salt. Like, you just take it for what it is. Thanks for checking this out, guys. This is going to be a hard watch, so that's why I'm adding this commentary. That little slushy sound was like, we thought that was super scary at the start. It's so weird looking back at this stuff because it's like there's like no soundtrack to this movie. It's really bizarre. And there's the title, It'll Get You. We had this moniker back in the day. I guess we were going to focus a lot on like horror movies, so we called it like In the Night Films, which we quickly abandoned. This movie is based in I think a fake city called Seville, Oregon. I forgot about that. Man, this stuff's like really, really hard to watch. So there's Dan.
This is her.
Dan's playing the dad of the missing girl, and that's me.
Cute kid.
Looking like Marty
Her name's
McFly.
Sally. She's been missing for a couple days now. That's when I called you.
Let's hear some of this golden dialogue.
There's a small chunk of woods near your home. What can you tell me about that?
Huge pause.
Nobody goes in the forest.
If you see like the crude editing, it's like this is like basically the first thing
That should be good enough.
ever edited. There's Steve, a brother,
Yo, Box.
and his friend
He's the
Jay.
guy in the life preserver.
Oh man,
He's going to find Sally for us. You come here often?
this is kind of a
Yeah,
cool
you
shot
know,
here. It's like
All
almost
the
like a crane
friends around
shot.
here shoot birds. This is as far as we go.
But this
Why is that?
this overdub is just
There's a
horrendous.
legend. It all started with a guy named Archibald Crane.
So this little kid's telling this story to this grown man about a legend in the forest.
He was a local hermit.
But the overdub is done by like one of us, either me or Dan, of our little brother, and it just I don't even understand. I don't get it. Makes no sense.
Then the forest took him.
See, this is the Evil Dead inspired kind of like forest coming after this guy, this hermit. And that's Dan too, again. Is the overacting. Getting attacked by a tree. Forest. Oh, he gets stabbed by some branch. I remember this footage, you won't really see it, but it looks even crappier than the regular stuff, is because we put this filter on the camera. It was like some sort of like, almost like a garbage bag, I believe. I don't know what's going on here. He's supposed to have some lines here, I think. Wow, that needed some editing there.
Damn!
Well, my car won't start because this car hadn't actually ran for years, and it was sitting in the back of a yard. Oh, then I get attacked by the missing girl. She's turned into some sort of zombie thing, and then I unceremoniously shoot her with these horrible, weird jump cuts. I don't understand. Again, this is like the first time we edited anything, so it was like, this is literally like the first time doing anything.
Die, maggot!
Shooting your little sister in a movie, the first thing you always end up doing. She's got to be super young here. If we're about 17, I think we just turned 17 or just turned 18. I think it was shot in April 2000. I think
So she was like 9.
Oh no, the missing kid. I found her. I killed her.
Oh my.
The hell's going on?
Wow. Just wow. These are like Tarantino trunk shots, super inspired by Tarantino, like Reservoir Dogs. And I get I have a Matic in my car for some reason. The car that doesn't run. This is like sitting in a forest, clearly. Oh, what's really interesting, I just figured out. This is April 2000, so we didn't even drive yet. We didn't drive till like September of this year, of the 2000. So that's probably why we didn't have any like actual car that ran. And this car is like a 78 Oldsmobile, I believe, something like that, or even older. And it was actually my grandpa's that he gave it to my dad, our dad. Like I'm looking right at the camera there a lot, like, oh, and then like the forest is like gave me a message, a scary message. I don't know. It just makes no sense. This movie could be 2 minutes long.
Up.
And the overdubbing is just bizarre. It's like it doesn't even match. Like it's almost like a half like voiceover. Oh, some blood's leaking out of. Oh, this is Johnson. This is the dad that he met earlier in the movie. And it looks like he's been killed. I think he's been murdered with his family. Somehow. I think the forest took him again. Look at that old school TV there. That's awesome. Now I'm scared of the forest or something because it's chasing me, I think. This is all shot in our backyard, obviously. This actually kind of looks cool now that it, like, after all these years, sort of like choppy, kind of glitchy, almost like a Blair Witch type thing. Clearly, like, inspired by a Blair Witch. So he's trying to escape here, and I think there's like a clever edit here, where he can't exit the forest. Yeah, I think we're trying to be clever here. Man, this could really use a lot of sound design. I don't really understand. It's like it's a silent movie. So now he's like back in the forest because he can't escape. I think that was kind of like what we're trying to convey here. Again, I don't remember anything of this movie, really. Like, I think I'm like laughing there, and then yeah, there's a lot of like cuts where it's like it should have cut like seconds before, or even like a lot of seconds before. Oh, now there's like a really horrible high music going on now. This weird like whistling. So he's been in the forest about 4 days here for some reason. He's just stumbling around. It's weird that I'm in the, like, Dan is, like, he's definitely more of, like, the actor now, where, like, but he was clearly, like, behind the camera on a lot more than I was, because I'm in front of the camera. It's so weird how that switched. I wonder why I was the guy in this. I don't know. It's weird. Oh, there's like a little tree fort thing. This is actually very reminiscent of, like, that's so strange how it's like, it's kind of like Stranger Things when the Will Byers little tree fort thing out in the woods. I forget what the story here is. I think this is the hermit's house, like the guy that was took by the forest in that kid's story. It's quite weird. And he's going through a bunch of junk. books and stuff. You can see the lens cap and the shadow in there. So I guess he's, I don't know. There's a lot of weird cuts like that too, or a little jumpy. Not quite like cut to perfection. You know, again, just this is like really raw. You know, this is sort of like you're a garage. If you had a garage band, this is like basically your first meeting with the group, and putting together something original on your like first hour as a band, but first time ever playing anything together. So that's kind of the equivalent, I think, of this. And this is that Slurpee thing I was talking about in the intro, where like some sort of Slurpee cup or as some sort of worm demon thing. It's funny, the kids in this, like Alex, Jay, and my brother Steve, they're about 29 years old now. Like that kid is 29. Which is like absolutely crazy. It's nuts. Like they're probably how old are they here? They're probably like 12. Are they 12 here? Yeah, I think they're 12. There's Alex getting killed. There's the worms attached to my face now somehow. I don't know why we cut back to this. It's weird. Oh, and there's a horrible sound here. Some sort of bug fly sound. And then, like, I'm killing this thing now all of a sudden? I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why it's like it lingers on this really bad effect for, like, a crazy amount of time. Like, clearly a sock cup. And, like, yeah, I have no idea. That makes no sense. And then I noticed this. Like, what is with that? Like, that should have been cut, like, now. Like, start the shot now. Like, it could have been cut 20 seconds before. Like, I'm just standing there, clearly doing nothing, like, waiting for action. Like, I have no idea. I mean, again, this is, like, super raw and, like, just trying to, you know, figure out editing systems and stuff. But, like, come on. Oh, the bug's back or something. Oh, this is sort of like, this is super inspired by Evil Dead, where like he kind of gets possessed. And again, here's the comic book influence where everything's like looking right at the camera. And now the insect sound is like even more annoying. It's like, now I'm trying to like wash it off or something. I don't know. It's almost like the sound was created to be as annoying as possible. I think that was the sound design direction.
Face. What happened to my face? It's poisoned somehow.
Oh, he learns a little bit there. He kind of voiceovers it. His face has been poisoned. Again, like looking right at the camera. Like I just don't get it. Again, the comic book influence, like not really knowing what visually, like what's sort of like what's the rules of film, and you know, again, just learning and stuff. But it's like, oh man, I totally forgot about this. He like starts talking to some cat.
That's right, I'm talking to you. But do you believe this is real? What's real or not real in this forest? You're about to believe anything, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, I believe this is a really bad movie. I don't even know where we got these music cues. Like, I don't know.
Poison out of my head.
Oh, now he's gonna stab his eye out or something. Is that what he's gonna do? No. I don't know what's going on here. Again, his scream's not even like on sync. Like now he's screaming, but there's no sound. Like what the hell's going on? Like I don't even know. Did he actually stab his eye? Like it doesn't even show him like actually doing it. I don't know. Oh, now he's gonna get killed. Maybe not. Like it's so slowly paced too. Like I don't really. It's supposed to be sort of like a horror sort of movie. Oh, so this is like the climax here. I'm getting chased, and then he backs off. The forest backs off. And now I'm totally chill. I'm gonna grab an axe from my car that doesn't run.
Come get some monsters. monster.
What? Come get some monster. Like, you add monster. Like, I think my line when I was there was just come get some. Kind of like total ripped off Evil Dead. Oh, this is like a battle here. Trying to axe the guy. Clearly, like, the axe fell from the tree, but then it cuts to a insert of it's still stuck in the tree, and it's like all these shots are like super long, like long, cut, like cut those like seconds before, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Like, this movie could literally be 2 minutes long. Although I did like some of the blood effects. It looks kind of cool on the like 2 shots that it shows. And my eye looks actually not too bad there. Oh, you can actually finally see the mask of this guy. You only saw it like a couple times. And now this weird struggle fight. Clearly nobody behind the camera, so it like has to be really boring. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Oh, I stab him. Something happened there. I'll stab him with a stick, but clearly he's just holding his stick by his head. How are we supposed to get it? Like, do you get away with that? Oh, a couple jump cuts here. Now I look right at the camera again, I think. Yeah. See, like, it's the visual language of film that, like, you just, sometimes you just have to learn. I mean, it's weird in this. I mean, I've seen 12-year-old kids make better videos, like, on YouTube and shorts like this, but, like, much better. Again, there's a bit of a better quality. Like, kids nowadays can get better quality video, but a better quality video is not going to make this movie any better, right? So you learn. This is, when we were making stuff like this, like, again, like, not everybody was doing this stuff. Like, we thought we were maybe one of the only people on the island, like, where we live, that were doing this, or maybe even, maybe 5 or 10 kids in Canada were doing it. But really, like, there was probably thousands of making stupid little backyard movies like this, and learning, right? And learning how to like put things together. And clearly we're learning here. Like, we're just literally just putting a couple shots together, and even that, like, really badly. So this is like the crazy long end shot here, where it just goes on forever. I got out of the forest, I guess. But did I, right? Like, who knows? Like, why is it lingering so long? Who knows? What's gonna happen, right? So clearly influenced by Evil Dead and stuff. Like, how do you think this is gonna end? He's gonna have a really awkward cut here, and then the forest is coming after him. Of course, right? Because that's what you do. No. And that's it. That's time you'll never get back. It Will Get You, starring Jamie Francis and Dan Francis as Archibald Crane. And wow, just wow. I haven't seen that all the way through in a long time. And I'm not even going to get that time back. Oh, there it is. Filmed April 2000, Crofton, BC. Interesting. Yeah, we must have just turned about 18 there. So all you 18-year-olds and think that maybe you shouldn't do movies because you don't think you're good enough, well, there's your proof that you that's how shitty some people's 18-year-old shorts can be.